Hello my friends, and look, because this is a very special episode of Ups and Downs, I mean we had a wrestling show on a Saturday night, I have decided to reveal to you my secret. I actually have the ability, I have the powers to summon great wrestling matches. I'm going to show you right now. Are you ready? Okay, cool. Everybody sit down. Here we go. Okay, I didn't go to plan. Instead, I seem to have summoned this bee. But do not worry about that, because instead you can worry about Battle of the Belts 3, which AEW just did. One of these matches was absolutely nuts. Let's up those doubts. So it was Wardlow versus Jay Lethal for the TNT Championship to kick off Battle of the Belts 3. And now we are getting those like intro graphics when you do have a championship match, when you see the title doing like a little bit of a dance. And I like these. I don't even know why. Like out of context, people probably be like, why? Why do they put the championship on the screen? You have to go, well, because it looks really good. But look, it pleased me and that's that. Now the idea here was that Wardlow was totally screwed, because not only was he going to have to take on Lethal, but he was going to have to take on Satnam Singh, and he was going to have to take on Sanjay Dutt. And that basically happened straight away, because these two on the outside go, hey, over here, big fella. Wardlow had to look at them, so Jay smacked him. I don't think these guys realise that Wardlow is being booked as a monster though, so he just brushed this off and he started slamming fools again when we actually got to take two. Because Satnam and Sanjay were at it again, Wardlow did look at them and then he went, oh yeah, meant to have a wrestling match, and he absolutely murked Jay Lethal with a tilt-a-whirl. This isn't Lethal's first rodeo though, so he did have a plan. Get out of the way of the big guy as he runs at me. He will hit Reed to the ring post, and then I can work over his leg. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do not think we have ever seen this in professional wrestling before. And yes, I'm an asshole, but look, why the hell would you ever change this? You smaller than the other dude, and you need to chop him down to size? Go after his knees. I mean, he even smashed it around Reed to the ring post at one point, so poor Rita was in for her work this evening. And it did kind of work, because Wardlow went for a powerbomb. We wasn't able to do it. And look, I do want to mention that this was a really good, fun match. But ultimately, did anybody actually believe that Wardlow was going to lose the title here? And the answer is no, because that would have been absolutely crazy. I mean, this match had a little bit of a build, but not that much. So Ward was able to get out of the way of this. He hit a big old headbutt, he hit a big old lariat before he scored with the one singular powerbomb. He got the 1, 2, 3, and he is still a champ. There was some good aftermath to this too, because the bad guys jumped in, they were able to overpower Wardlow, and as Jay Lethal put the figure 4 on, Satnam kind of stood on his chest as if he was like, ha, I'm gonna get the oxygen out of you. Because Wardlow is so damn strong, he was able to get back to his feet where it looked like he was gonna give Satnam Singh a powerbomb, and I got excited. But again, he's only one guy, there were 3 guys, they got a table out, and they slammed him through it. So I suppose this is not done, especially now because yes, I want to see Wardlow powerbomb Satnam Singh. Sometimes when it comes to wrestling, you just want 2 + 2 = 4. I like doing this. Up. I also should have mentioned that during that fracas, the way that Wardlow was able to get back up was because he whammed Satnam Singh right in the balls. So now he's going to want to get revenge. Nobody wants to get hit in the penis. This goodness then carried on too, because it was Jamie Hayter versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship. Good stuff. If you need an idea of how hard they were going at this, it was reported after the fact that Jamie Hayter broke her nose. And I was like, well, I'm not that surprised, because they were laying in these shots, including this one particular dropkick. We made sure this was a blood feud too, because even before the bell rang, Jamie jumped Thunder Rosa, and of course Britt Baker was out there, so she started casting distraction. This left Thunder a mess, I tell you, especially because she went for a dive, and Jamie Hayter cut that off and threw her into Barry Barricade. Pure desperation, Rosa then hit a TDT onto the floor, but honestly, she couldn't get any momentum, because by the time she got back in the ring, Britt Baker had restored her MP. Once again, she had gone back to distraction. Jamie was like, all right, here we go. Because I mean, she took Simba the Steel Steps and basically mangled Thunder Rosa on those. I was like, referee, can you just come here a second? What are you doing? They did then start trading punches finally, where Thunder was able to score with her awesome Northern Light suplex. I tell you, this is when we got that drop kick I told you about when Jamie Hayter was kind of laid up in the ropes and Rosa just slammed right into her. I mean, it made me all go heebie-jeebie, and while I'm not 100% sure if that wasn't the spot where she hurt her schnoz, what the hell is going on? Even with all that though, Hayter is so good at playing the strong wrestler. She hit a backbreaker and she hit a brainbuster. But sadly, this is when I realised this is suffering from the same thing that match 1 suffered from. While one day I would love Jamie Hayter to become the AEW World Champion, it ain't on this evening. But when Baker did indeed try to be an ass for a 3rd time, Toni Storm was like, look, I cannot handle this anymore. You were just ruining my fun. She got hit by a DDT. And then in the ring, Thunder hit the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. But it was like a cool-looking one. It looked like a very purposeful move. She got the 1, 2, 3. She is still a champ. It also does seem that we are heading to Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa round 3, I suppose, at All Out. And the big question is who the hell wins that one? Don't have to worry about that for now. Up. And then, well, flub me sideways. Because our main event was indeed Claudio Castagnoli taking on Konosuke Takeshita for the Ring of Honor World Championship. And no matter how good you think this is, times it by 7.6. I mean, it was absolutely out of this world, and you've got to go and see it. And look, I get it. Some people just aren't into this style of wrestling, and that's perfectly cool. You're allowed to like what you like, and you're allowed to not like what you don't like. But does this type of wrestling need to exist in the universe? Yes, it does. And when it's done as well as this, well, oodalally. They were in full-on tech mode to begin with Claudio doing this ridiculous monkey flip. But what we were being told here is that basically they were each other's equal, and anything they could do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. Yes, you can. No, I can't. I got some of that wrong, but you take my point. It meant Takeshita then went, okay, I'm going to change up my strategy. I'm just going to hit Castagnoli as hard as I can in the face. But I think this annoyed Claudio because he got back in the ring and he started busting out these backbreakers as if he thought there was gold in Takeshita's body and he was going to steal it and become a wealthy man. We then got some dives because of course we did when Takeshita went to the top rope, but Claudio stopped him and hit this avalanche gut-wrench suplex, which is absolutely stupid. And even though he was able to get the big swing for a near fall, all of a sudden Takeshita was like, no, I ain't having any of this. And he hit a blue thunder bomb from nowhere. He hit this absolutely devastating DDT. And then he just threw in a frog splash for good measure, as if this was effortless. But then just reversing everything like this isn't a hard thing to do, including Claudio going for sharpshooters and crossfaces, and somehow this man from Japan was turning them into pins. Takeshita then started hitting all of these German suplexes, and by the time he landed a brainbuster on Claudio, this one got me. I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually going to let him win. Even though that was very silly of me. This continued though because Claudio did get Takeshita up for the Ricola bomb and he turned it into the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, and I bit on that one. And this is when Claudio quite literally caught a grown man out of midair and turned it into a Death Valley driver. I just stared at him like, I don't understand where you came from, but you ain't human. As he is part of the BCC2, Claudio then followed up with those elbows right to the skull. This knocked Takeshita loopy. He got hit with the Ricola bomb. 1, 2, 3. Still your Ring of Honor World Champion. But again, look, trust me, I have not done this justice. Just go and find 15 to 20 minutes a day and sit down with this. And the whole time you'll just go, wow, these two are great professional wrestlers. And if you're like me, I shall never be as good as them, which is totally cool. They are next level, to the point, it doesn't just get an up, it gets a golden up. And yeah, that was it. That was the end of Battle of the Belts. It was just 60 minutes of glory. And while they don't necessarily feel as special as I thought they would do when they were first announced, I had a wonderful time. And at the end of it, I was like, well, again, 60 minutes, it flew through. Now I can get on with the rest of my day. I enjoyed all of this. Up. Now please do leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Battle of the Belts. Make sure you like the video, share the video and subscribe, and then do these 3 things. Go to whatculture.com, read an article, come follow us on social media at whatculturewwe and at SimonMiller316, and watch another video, especially ups and downs from yesterday, to complete the Triforce. My name is Simon for What Culture. Make sure you have a lovely Sunday. See you soon.